Hello, all, and welcome to another episode of That's So Auburn podcast. My name is Nancy Backus, Mayor for the City of Auburn, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome three amazing young talents at the City of Auburn, each of them an intern in our Next Step Auburn internship program. Today, I'll be talking to Will Olson, interning in our Human Resources and Risk Management Department. And this is actually Will's second year at the city, having interned in our Finance Department last year. We're extremely excited to welcome him back. Will is from Auburn, yay, and attends the University of Washington in Seattle, where he's pursuing a degree in accounting and information systems. And I'm also joined by Angee Pogosian,
Yes.
who is interning in our Multimedia Communications Department. You've likely already seen Angee's photos and videos on our social media channels. Angee's also from Auburn and recently obtained her bachelor's degree in sociology from the University of Washington. And last, but definitely not least, we get to welcome Emma Blanton, one of our Parks, Arts, and Recreation interns. Emma recently graduated from WSU with a bachelor's degree in human development. And each of them has graciously agreed to join me here today, and I can't wait for you to hear about the differences they're making in our community. So let's just go ahead and get started. Angee, Will, Emma, welcome to That's So Auburn.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
I'm excited to have you here. So I appreciate you taking time out of your official duties and joining in here today. And Next Step Auburn is an amazing program, I think, managed by our Human Resources Department. And each year, I've become more and more impressed with the caliber of interns we welcome to our city. And I am really excited for our listeners to hear your stories. So let's go ahead and get started. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So question one, and I'll tell you what, we'll just kind of go around the table and then come back in the other direction. And Emma, there will be times when you get to go first too. I'll just point. How's that? So that you don't feel like you are the middle child all the time. Is that fair?
It sounds great. Thank you.
All right. So Angee, we'll start with you. Why don't you do an introduction and tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you live. I have already said a little bit about that, and the journey that led you here to the city of Auburn.
Yeah. So first of all, thanks for having me. It's great to meet you and be here with my fellow interns. I grew up in Auburn.
Yay.
And actually, I've been learning so much more about Auburn, and it's made me a lot more proud of where I come from. I just graduated from the University of Washington with my degree in sociology. And while I was a student, I worked for the city of Seattle and I worked for King County, interned for a couple nonprofits, and did a lot of policy work and social research, communications work, and a lot of equity work. Like all of it was centered around progressing equity in the, Puget Sound region.
Excellent.
And I always kind of, tried to insert myself and be like, can I do some social media work? Can I make a video? I always tried to bring some sort of multimedia element to the work that I was doing. And so when I saw this opportunity with the city of Auburn, doing multimedia work and communications work, I was like, this is so my thing. And so I'm really excited to be here and work on some really awesome projects and kind of help bring Auburn to viewers and help people understand why Auburn is so great, just like how I've kind of discovered for myself over the past couple weeks. Like, okay, I do come from a pretty cool, little city.
You do indeed. And I'm going to make sure that before you leave, you decide that Auburn is the best place that you've ever worked.
Yes. Yeah. So thanks.
Very good. Emma, how about you?
So I'm from Puyallup. I am not from Auburn, but it's been really great getting to know how great Auburn is. So I was born there, grown up there, and I'm living there currently. And I also just graduated from Washington State University. Go Cougs.
We've got purple and gold and crimson and gray in the room today. I hope it works out.
Tensions are high, guys. So I just got my degree in human development and a minor in business. And I've really had a lot of work experience in interning with nonprofits, lots of customer service and serving kind of jobs where I really get to interact with a lot of people, as well as a lot of volunteering and philanthropic opportunities through my history and my sorority over there. So I've always really had a passion to be involved in the community, and this summer I'm interning at Parks, Arts, and Recreation as the farmers market intern. I love farmers markets. I live and breathe them. I've always enjoyed them. And it's been very, very great being there so far. I applied in the spring when I saw the job on Indeed, and I had an interview with the team over there. And honestly, when I went into the interview, I wasn't really sure how I felt about the job. I was not really sure if it was something I was interested in. And after the interview, I was like, wow, I really, really want this. I practiced my interview questions over and over and over again to my roommates, and luckily secured the position. And yeah, it's been really great getting involved in the community and building relationships with the farmers market vendors and all the volunteers and my teammates. And yeah.
And they didn't blame you for the weather for the very first farmers market of the year, did they?
Some people did say I brought the rain, but
Emma, don't take that.
I don't feed into it, so
good. Yeah, don't take that at all. We always blame that on Daryl. Daryl is responsible for the weather. He's the director of Parks, Arts, and Recreation. For those that may not know, so it's his responsibility to make sure the weather is good.
Yes, yeah. The first market was a little rough, lots of rain. Luckily, we all have tent weights, so
and we don't melt.
Yeah, and we don't melt. So, but all the markets have been great so far, especially Pride and Juneteenth.
Yes.
And yeah, it's been great.
It has been a great season so far, and I'm glad you're here and glad you're part of it. Will, tell us about you and your background. I know a little bit from last year, but tell us about your background, what you've been doing.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for having us here today. I'm kind of like a mixture of both of you. I grew up in Puyallup, and then I moved to Auburn when I started up middle school. So I went to Cascade Middle, and then I went to Auburn High School, and then I did Running Start at Green River. So a lot of Auburn education. Then I went up to UW, and then I've been doing accounting and information systems. And I was here last year, and it was a really fun experience and helped me kind of figure out that I wanted to go down the accounting information systems route, which was really beneficial. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be back for year two.
Well, we're excited to have you back for year two. And so some of our paths are the same. I graduated from Auburn High School and also graduated from Green River College. They did not have Running Start way back when I went. And I also have my degree in accounting. So we have a lot of similarities there.
That's awesome.
Except I don't have the information systems background or knowledge, and anyone in our IT department can tell you that to be a fact. But I have other skills, so I won't dwell on that. So, Will, tell us how your internship has been so far and how it compares to last year's.
Yeah, it's been a really great experience. I think it's really cool seeing how different departments, having been a part of two different departments now, seeing how both of them interact with one another and how they're different and similar, and then also how different departments depending on the work they do, that's kind of led to different interactions with people. And it's just really cool getting to be a part of these different departments. I don't really know fully what this year is going to look like, but I'm starting to work on some projects, and it's been really good.
Excellent. I think I know what some of those projects are going to be, and I'm really excited to see the outcomes of them.
Thank you.
Emma, how's your internship been? We know the farmers market. The weather has been great vendors and everything. But a couple of moments maybe that you'd like to highlight out of so far.
Yeah. So my supervisor, Amanda, is gone on maternity leave right now. So I've really taken over her role, which has given me a lot of responsibility. And it's really a responsibility at a level I haven't had before in a job position. and I feel very grateful to be given this opportunity. A lot of my skills from last year, I interned at an international adoption agency.
Oh, wow.
And learned a lot of administrative and really trust building skills with families, and really trying to open up communication. And that's really carried over into this position for this internship, and making those connections with my vendors and teammates strong. And I feel like I've really gotten to know everyone on a professional and personal level. And I'm really learning a lot. It's every day I learn something new, and I love having my debriefs with my team and getting some pieces of advice on how to improve for next time. And yeah, it's been great.
That's fantastic. Thank you. And Angee.
This has been an absolute dream. I am super pleased in my internship. I love my team, and I love how everyone has their own specialty that I get to learn from, and just kind of creating content on my own time. Like, I did travel content and like some fitness content, and to actually be able to come here and still work in a city in a government environment and
still have fun.
Have fun, still do what I'm really passionate about and what I actually really love to do has been amazing. I just have a lot of fun with it. Like going to the events, it's summer, right? There's so much to do. Getting to go out there, seeing everyone have a good time, get to be able to tell the story of people enjoying their time. And I find the recaps of the events something to kind of help people draw and come to the Auburn events. And so, yeah, this has honestly been a dream come true. And I'm like, I want to keep doing this. Like 10 weeks? No, let's do this longer.
Let's make it 10 years.
Yeah, I know, right? So I'm very happy and very pleased here.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that. So, sounds like you're all doing incredible things so far. Do you have a favorite moment, Emma, so far working with the city?
I really enjoyed doing Juneteenth. So for those who don't know, we had the Juneteenth event go alongside the farmers market the other weekend on June 23rd. And it was really great working with Brenda and Maddie at the Office of Equity and seeing the two events really just work alongside each other and us helping each other out so we can both be successful and celebrate Juneteenth. And it was great getting to see some other vendors as well. I took note of some of them as potential, maybe reaching out to them for excellent. 2025. And I would have to say that was my favorite moment and favorite day so far.
That was a spectacular day.
Yeah, it was great.
Really was. Will, how about you?
Yeah, I think I have a little bit more to draw from, but I don't know if it's like an exact day, but I had this longer project last year, and I was doing work for the B&O team, which was kind of newer to the city, so they had a lot of help that I could provide them. And being able to finish up that project and then show them like exactly, oh, look, here's all the businesses that we need to look at and go after. And here's all the areas that we can be improving in. That was a really, really cool moment.
Yeah, businesses that we can contact and help them through this process. I think that's something that you should be very proud of, the work that you did. It was, I remember your end of intern summer project, and it was pretty incredible. So the bar is set high now, Will.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Angee, how about you? A favorite moment so far?
I feel like I've had really great moments so far. I guess I'll just talk about one, I suppose. I really enjoyed going to Kids Day. That was like one of the, I guess, like the first big event that I was sick on Juneteenth. I so wish I could have been there.
I'm so sorry.
So wish I could be there. It's okay. But Kids Day was really fun. Next year, for sure. I still got to like edit the video for Juneteenth, so I got to relive it that way. But Kids Day was great, just kind of going and seeing the turnout, how many people are having a great time, and just kind of being bold and getting in there with my camera and just kind of capturing everyone having a good time, and then editing it up and posting it. It was just so cool. Like, I was like, I get to do this for work, So yeah, I just enjoyed that event, and I'm really excited for the upcoming events that I'll be able to capture as well. So.
Great. Well, for Parks, Arts, and Recreation, we've got to give them a big shout out, as well as the Office of Equity, because we had Juneteenth celebration on June 23rd. We had Kids Day on June 25th. And now we have the 4th of July Festival on July 4th, obviously, all of them at Lescove Park. And it's a great park, but I'm so thrilled by the turnout at all of these events, because they're really community oriented, and that's the goal. We kind of call Lescove our city park, Central Park. And I love seeing the faces of the people who are there, the kids, the parents, friends, family getting together and creating those traditions. And I think that's one of the things that I'm really proud of in Auburn, is that sense of community. But once you are finished with your community time here, what do you intend to do after the internship and schooling ends? So post. And I know, Angee, you've graduated, right? No.
We both.
Yeah, Angee and Emma have both graduated. So, Will, what do you intend to do after this internship and your schooling is complete?
I think for me, it's fairly straightforward. I think go into accounting, do that. I've been really enjoying my time at UW, and I think most likely audit.
Audit, okay.
Yeah.
So to get your 2,000, is it still 2,000 hours to get your CPA before you can get your license?
I know the credit is like 225 credits, and then I'll have that. So
okay, but then when I was doing this, you had to have about 2,000 hours of experience to go along with that before you could get your license.
Yeah, I know that there's like experience related portions of that.
Right.
Yeah,
and it's probably changed over time, but. That's a lot, but I'm excited for you, because what kind of accounting do you like the best?
Audit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So you know that you're not always going to be everybody's favorite. Auditors are not always. I always thought of them as partners in business. Not everybody feels that way, Will, and I'm pretty sure you probably know that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Just wanted to make sure that you're not going into that blindly. And Angee, what about you? What do you do after this internship ends?
Yeah, well, I am really hoping to gain more experience in social media and videography work. Those are two things that I'm extremely passionate about, and I'd love to spend time in my homeland. I'm Armenian, so I'm hoping to do a program there where I can gain more experience. And then I'm going to be keeping my eye out, because I would love to come back and work for the city of Auburn or any local government. I'm really passionate about local governments, and any work that I do, I want it to be in a community where we can make an impact. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping to do. And yeah, keep me in mind for future opportunities if you're listening,
Love it. Emma, how about you?
Yeah, I'm taking a little bit of time to do some traveling. I'm actually going to go book plane tickets this evening to
Exciting.
Japan.
Oh, wow.
Then we're going to narrow down another country. But I'm very excited for that. I haven't done a lot of traveling, so this will be very eye-opening. I've always really wanted to do it. So it feels like right now, post-grad, at the end of the internship is a good time to take some time to do that.
Mm-hmm. Good for you.
Yeah, and then after that, I will probably look into finding some full-time positions and keep me in mind as well.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm really excited to take some time to have some life experiences and learn from other cultures and really just experience the world. So
very nice.
Let's chat, because I just came back from a Southeast Asia trip, and I'd love to give you some recommendations.
That would be great.
Let's chat.
I would love that.
I love these connections. So on another note with connections, each week I understand HR has scheduled breaks to educate, where all of you get to learn more about the city departments. And is there anything that you've learned that completely surprises you? Angee?
Yeah, I mean, I have had a blast at all the breaks to educate, and I'm really excited for the rest of them. But the one that we did with the community services, I believe, with Kent and his team, that was incredibly eye-opening to me. I had a really good time just learning about what the city of Auburn gets to do. I think Auburn is so unique because we're in 2 counties. And so hearing about kind of how like funding works and the unique way that they go about homelessness. And I just, I always kind of wondered like what happens to people if they can't camp, or if they, if there are these barriers, like what can they do? And it was really cool to learn about those perspectives. And it really just kind of the open-mindedness of his team and the representation on his team. It was really inspiring to me. Because I've done homelessness, work with homelessness in my previous roles, and just kind of seeing the fresh, real perspective that Kent has to offer that doesn't kind of tiptoe around issues, that was really refreshing to me. So it kind of helps drive the work forward when you're able to really have those tough conversations.
Yes.
So.
And Kent and Drew and Patty do an amazing job out with individuals in encampments on the streets. So I'm really glad that you enjoyed that experience. Emma, how about you?
Yeah, I learned about the community courts. That was, as a human development major, we have definitely studied a lot in criminal justice and just kind of where there are some pitfalls in it. And so learning about the community court and how people are given resources rather than harsher punishments when they've maybe broken the law is really, really great and powerful, and helps people build resilience and have a lower risk of entering jail and
the justice system.
The justice system. Thank you. And so, that was something that I learned at the HR break to educate that I really enjoyed.
Wonderful. Will, how about you?
Yeah, I would say that one of the biggest ones was just the work that we do with graffiti, how dangerous it can be for communities, and how much work we put in to making sure that our community is clean and doesn't have that. And I thought it was like, I think a lot of people have seen the artwork that we put up, or maybe in neighboring cities. They don't understand like that's really cost beneficial because of the amount of less time it is and less money is to clean those when they're not getting graffitied, and like thinking through smarter materials we can be using for different aspects of our community development.
Yeah, I love some of the artwork that we have around the murals on underpasses. I'm really proud of those. I think the artists have just done a phenomenal job. And who doesn't like a little bit of art? I mean, you're driving along, the pavement is gray, the sidewalks are gray, sometimes the weather is gray. Who doesn't love a little bit of color as you go under an underpass or somewhere, some of the art pieces we have around town. So I'm glad you mentioned that. So, one of the goals on this podcast is to teach residents something they may not know about our city, and we try to reach them where they are. So you're all young, and okay, I've got to ask first: is "hip" the right word to use? No. Okay, I didn't think so. I thought somebody was trying to give me a bad time here and putting that word on. What word would I use instead of "hip"?
Well, you're the one who said no. So
I'm a strong anti-hip word.
Anti-hip. All right. So
I
what do you, oh, come on. You're killing me here. You got to give me something to use if I'm not using hip. It's not cool. It's not awesome.
I've said both of those words on this podcast. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I'm not saying that they're not the words. I just think I need to know what the cool word is right now, because I'm a little older than all y'all, in case you haven't realized that. So if I wanted to just really, really impress people of your age, what word would I use in that sentence?
Why are we so unclear?
I don't know.
No, I'm thinking of like every TikTok right now. I can't come up with anything.
Our generation is going to be so disappointed watching this back.
All right. Well, then I'm just going to use the word hip and we're just going to go with it. Unless you have another word for me, Will.
Last chance to speak.
I feel like hip is I feel like I'm hip, so I'm cool with that one. Yeah.
Hip was around in the 60s. I just want to tell you that. And so I think it takes on a life of its own with every generation. We're just going to go with that, okay? So do you have any suggestions for us on how we can better reach people of your age when it comes to city communications? And any message you think we're not sharing that we should? And don't worry about hurting our feelings. So, Angee, let's start with you because you've done some of that communication. So how do we reach people of your age? How do we get the message out maybe that we're not sharing?
Yes. Well, I'm really excited to kind of come in and think about how we can communicate with different generations. So like depending on the platform, and we might post something a little different or in a way that is more digestible and more engaging and appropriate. But with young people who are so hip and cool, I'm kind of hoping to do some trendy posts on Instagram and Twitter or X. And
I
just
still don't get the X thing, but
right?
that's all right.
Twitter's way cooler, but
it is.
Anyway, yeah, I'm hoping to post some things that are kind of trendy that kind of get people to chuckle a little, and that get people thinking, hey, I kind of want to go to that. That sounds pretty cool. Something that catches their eyes, because I think sometimes city communications can be kind of dry and just to the point informative. But if we can get it to a way where they're watching it and saying, I kind of want to go to that. And I feel like my manager, Jonathan, is doing an incredible job with that already on social media. And it's kind of what drew me
He's the one that gave me the word hip, so don't give him too much credit.
But I remember just a lot of people my age were kind of like, who's running the Auburn account? Like, that's, they're posting some risky stuff on there. And I was like, I kind of want to be in on that. And that's what attracted me to Auburn too, was I was like, I think I'm going to have the opportunity to bring something different and not make it boring content and make it engaging and something that people actually want to watch. So.
All right. So this is a challenge. How are you going to make me cool and hip? What are you going to do for my social media?
Well, we can chat,
all right.
But we can probably have you do like something with a trending audio in the background.
Okay.
Or if you want to be hip and use your hips, you can do some dancing.
I have been known to dance on social media before, so that isn't such a far stretch.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll chat.
All right. Emma, how about you? How can we reach people of your age and maybe what message are we not getting out?
Yeah, I have to agree with a lot of what Angee said. Really just utilizing social media is such a great way to interact with younger generations. That's really where people get a lot of their information. For the farmers market, I've been kind of tinkering with some ideas that could maybe be implemented for next year. One idea I had was maybe doing some sort of vendor spotlight and really highlighting.
I like that.
Yeah, just really highlighting the farms that we have. A lot of them travel far to come and
they do
sell their produce every weekend at the local farmers markets and put in a lot of time and energy. And I think really highlighting farms is really, really great. And it really helps inform the community where they can get fresh produce. And also, I know that we are in a little bit of a food desert here. And so it's even just more so helpful to the community so they can have equal access to food. But yeah, that's an idea that I've been tinkering with and am thinking about leaving as a little stamp of my time here.
As a legacy.
So that's really been my idea.
Oh, I love that idea. Thank you. And Will, how about you?
Yeah. I was very intrigued by this question, and I might embarrass the mayor a little bit with my response. We'll see. But Auburn actually, I think one problem that Auburn has, we do a lot on social media, so I kind of wanted to pivot away. We do a lot like history within museums, but we don't have I feel like out and about, you don't really know the history of Auburn as much. Like we have 42 parks. We have a lot of them named after people and such like that. By the way, the mayor is the first woman mayor Auburn has had.
Yes.
I just want to, for the listeners at home.
Thank you.
And we also have 4 parks named after mayors.
Yes.
We even have one park named after the first female council member.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Which one is that?
You didn't think I would know the answer, but I do.
For those who don't know, he just pulled out a piece of paper.
Out of my back pocket, yes. Dorothy Bothell, who was
correct.
a council member in 1950.
That's correct.
All right, your turn. Do you know who Frank Fulmer was?
Yes, I did, and I can't tell you right now.
Nice. Well, I think you're with the majority of Auburn citizens. I actually lived next to Frank Fulmer Park my whole life, basically. No idea who he was. I thought he was a random person in government.
It's not random.
Well, of course not. But I thought he'd be a not random person in government or not random person on the school board or something. He was actually a business owner who was known for giving ice cream to kids.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So for mine, I think that we could do more to share some of the cool history of our parks.
I love that
like
idea because you've heard of Scooty Brown Park?
Yeah. Yep.
And do you know how Scooty got their name?
He was a basketball player who had that nickname.
I thought he was a baseball player and he scooted around the bases.
Was it baseball?
I mean, he was fast. They kind of called him Scooty. Yeah. You could probably be right, and I could have had bad information, but that Scooty obviously was not his legal given name, but he was in sports. And we have some amazing parks in this city, and I've often thought about that too. I love that idea. You could do tours, you could do TikTok videos or something at all of our parks. You could all be involved in that.
100%. And that's another thing too, is that I feel like young people might not realize just how cool Auburn really is and all there is to do in the history. And I think all these ideas are great ways to kind of get our young people to kind of take pride in the city that they live in and find ways to do more in Auburn. So I think that's really awesome. And I love how much you know about Auburn too.
I wonder how many more slips of paper you had in his pocket. How many more questions can I ask you? Well, it sounds like you would all recommend the internship program, yes?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Totally, yeah.
Okay. Well, we are thrilled to have you, each of you, with us. You are making Auburn a better place. I am thrilled to get to spend some time with you, and I look forward to more time with you. And you know where my office is. You know you're always welcome up there. But I want to thank each of you for coming today and spending some time with me. Angee, Emma, Will. Any final words that any of you have to share with the audience? I mean, your parents are going to be hearing this, so, friends and family, all of that. But
I think I just want to say thank you for, having this internship program. Not every city, chooses to do that. And I think it's been really valuable for all of the interns who have gone through it.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, I would have to agree with Will. It's really great having an intern community and really getting to know everyone in little spurts. And it's such a great program that really aims to educate us and give us opportunities.
Yeah, I echo the same thing of them, and I'm really grateful to be here, and I'd recommend the internship to anyone. So I think you can reach out to any of us if you have more questions. So.
Well,
yes. Excellent.
Thank you, Angee, Will, Emma. And I appreciate you taking a little bit of time today to talk about Next Step Auburn Internship Program. Here's to a remaining great summer. And thank you for all that you have done and all that you continue to do to make Auburn a place that we are proud to call home or proud to visit and work in.
Awesome. Thank
you.
Thank you.
Perfect.